Moving on is positive psychology. Hi, welcome back to Self-Wired Happiness. My name is Monica. Here at Self-Wired Happiness, we unlock the secrets to a long, happy, and successful life. On our last episode, we talked about gratitude. And gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. If you're not grateful, you will not see the beautiful things in your life. And if you don't see the beautiful things in your life, you will have an experience that life sucks and everything is bad. Many people could be trying to help you, many people could be trying to reach out to you, but if you're not grateful, you will not see it. Gratitude is when you see it and you're thankful and you're happy. Train your mind to be grateful. The mind that we cultivate is either going to be our friend or be our enemy. And trust me, you do not want to live with a mind that is not your friend. You always want to create a mind that is there for you, that is compassionate and kind. In this episode, we are going to talk about the amazing power we have of moving on. Moving on is a superpower that most people don't recognize. For me, moving on means stepping towards the positive psychology. When you move away from past hurts and you decide to move on towards the positive psychology, that's when you kind of start building a life that is worth living. When we move on, we have to recognize two things: that we have created a mind over time that is harming us. This could have been a mind that was nurtured during your childhood. But if you come from a traumatic childhood, the mind that you created based on your environment is very harmful, because it probably led you to being angry with people or not trusting of people. If you are treated unkindly in your childhood by other people, that created trauma in a way that you're not able to relate well with other people because you're afraid of them, you're angry, or all these things that might be happening. For me, I became completely cynical and very kind of crazy, because it was very hard for me to trust people. For a long time, it was just very difficult for me to trust people. But imagine going through life like me, not being able to trust people. This mind is dangerous. This could be very dangerous for me, because something bad could happen to me and I may not be able to speak up, or I might need help and not be able to reach out for help because my mind is telling me like people are not to be trusted. If you want to move towards positive psychology, where you trust people and you enjoy being around people, your mind has to change. The way we change our mind is through actions, very deliberate actions, because you're actually changing the mind. You have this program that doesn't trust people, and now you have to create a program that is friendly and trusts people. So what are you going to do with this program? You have to create a very strong program in your mind that is so strong that it overcomes this weaker program. What I like to do is, because we know that where attention goes, energy flows, and where energy flows, neurofiring flows, and where neurofiring flows, neural connections grow. So I take this program. Let's say a thought comes in about somebody I don't trust, and I already know that I have this mind that is not trusting, and I need to change this mind towards more trusting people. So if the thoughts comes, I will analyze the thoughts, and is this person really somebody that I cannot trust, or is my mind judging them too harshly? People I don't understand that I'm judging. Then I will remind my mind that we are learning a new habit of trusting people. And now I tie in this insecurity towards the value that I'm creating about being friendly and nice to people, so that I heal this brain and it moves into a more positive place where now it trusts people. And I'll put some affirmations here. People are nice. You know, this person is probably busy. That's why they did not return my call. Or, you know, they're probably, something's wrong with them. Maybe they are busy with kids or busy with life. People have problems. Now I stop being so judgmental and judging people like they are not to be trusted, and they don't keep their word, to being more accommodating. That is moving towards positive psychology. I like to train this mind that is untrusting. I nurture it into a beautiful mind, because I understand that I have a program that I got from childhood that is not working for me, and I have to create a new program that's better. So there is that alchemy of taking pain and turning it into path. You identify your program, what's going on in your mind, and you turn it around with positive values, with gratitude, with understanding, with all these good values that human beings have, and you transform that mind into a more secure mind. You can do that. For me, I have done that a lot. Another way that you can do, my coach was teaching me this, is to do an alarm clock. Like for me, I have one at 6:21 that tells me to be kind to people and to be nice to people that day and to be grateful. I have one at 12 noon that reminds me, you know, to say thank you to somebody. And I have another one at, you know, around 6:21 p.m. also that tells me to write down something that I am grateful for. All this time, I'm really putting in the effort to create a beautiful mind. I'm creating a beautiful mind and doing things actually that remind me to create a beautiful mind. This is moving on. This is the art of moving on from pain, turning pain into path. We want to train our mind in a good way, in a friendly way. Remember, if you do not train your mind and you're coming from a childhood that is traumatic, this trauma will grow. And this trauma is what leads to adults having very, very undesirable behaviors. And you wonder, who raised this person? Yeah, it's a good question to ask yourself. That person wasn't raised well. That is pain that you see walking, and that is pain that leads to all these behaviors that we actually get shocked. Just know that any one of us can be there. Some of us, because we don't outwardly show these behaviors, we do things like we drink a lot, or maybe use drugs, or, you know, or harm ourselves. Whatever the case, this pain leads to disease and illness, and it can stay in your body and create illness in your body. This pain is truly meant to kill you. Okay, a funny thing, they said that this pain is actually really meant to kill you. I was reading a book by Dr. Friedrich Schiffer, and he was asking, why is it that when you're depressed that you can die? And honestly, now I think I kind of get it. If an organism is diseased, it's better that it dies than spreading the disease to the entire species. And that is what the mind is doing also. If your mind is not well, your body is designed to create all these illnesses. The ulcers kill you, and you stop spreading all this negativity to the entire species. I think that's what's happening. I may be wrong, it's just a theory out there. When an organism is diseased, the body is trying to take it out, just the way it's designed by evolution, because life is truly for the living. I know this sounds like it's way out there, but you know, how many people who are depressed actually end up killing themselves or getting seriously ill and dying? A lot of people do that. They take that path, or they go into self-destructive behaviors that kill them. And maybe it's the way of nature is arranged so that you know, if you can save your soul, well then, it just takes care of itself like that. And then life just continues for the living. The moral of the story is, you will die if you do not move on. So we move on because we have to. Nobody else is going to come here and help us move on, so we have to. It's good to practice meditation, because meditation actually trains your mind to be calm. The calmer your mind becomes, the closer you become to your strength. Meditation is also a very, very effective tool to help you overcome childhood trauma. Gratitude is also still a gratitude is also very effective when it comes to overcoming this mind. This mind has been created for a long time because of what we focus on. Where attention goes, energy flows, and where energy flows, neural firing flows. So you've created neural firing flows of trauma. You've created a mind that's actually traumatized by focusing on the things that people did, by focusing on all the negative aspects of your life. If you want to create a better life, you have to create a better mind that is focused on the things that are working for you, on the things that are going well in your life, that is focused on health and positive behavior and positive values. You have to create this mind every day until it becomes strong enough to wipe out your trauma, by even setting an alarm that reminds you of positive actions like gratitude, that reminds you of something like meditation. You work every day to thank the people in your life so that you start seeing the good things that are happening in your life. This is very important. If you want to create a positive life, you must focus on positive thoughts. You must focus on positive things that are going to happen in your life. It's just the way it does. You have to seek out positive friends, people who encourage you, people who are there for you. It just has to happen that way. But you have to move on. Moving on is exactly what it is. Dropping off the negative patterns, dropping off the negative thoughts, and focusing on the positive things in your life. That is true strength, and that is moving on. And life will reward you for this humility and this wisdom of moving on. Because I think for me that the one thing that I'm afraid of most is my own mind. Because I can see how things can quickly move from good mental health to bad mental health. I'm honestly very, very afraid of cultivating a mind that is negative, ungrateful, or embarrassed by small things that make me human. I'm afraid of cultivating a weak mind that is ungrateful, fearful, anxious. Like, I think this is my worst fear. And learning to move on from that kind of, from negativity into positivity, light, being grateful, being happy, and very, very much, for me, gratitude is everything. Being grateful for my co-workers, being grateful for the opportunities that I have, being grateful for the so many things that I have in life really makes me feel like my life is moving in the right direction. Being grateful for my friends, being grateful for my family, everything makes me feel like life is okay and life is moving on the way it should be. And that is good mental health, which is priceless. Good mental health. So despite all the things that I have been through life, all the challenges that I have gone through, me focusing on the positive is what really brings out happiness in my life. Focusing on my next goals, what my goals are, focusing on this show, like focusing on my YouTube channel, focusing on these small things. This is what my life is about, making sure that I'm doing my professional development, learning how to cook something, these small things, this is what for me my life right now is about. Being grateful, being grateful and being happy, being grateful, being contented, like feeling the contentment of life, just being contented with what I have. That has switched me a lot. That has switched my mind a lot towards happiness. So cultivate those kinds of small things, kindness towards yourself, towards other people. Cultivate gratitude, cultivate contentment, being satisfied with your friends, seeing the good things that they are doing, how hard they are working, being happy for the milestones that they have made in their life. These are the things for me that make me happy. And this is what I want my life to focus on and my goals to be driven by, because this is what will wipe out the trauma that I actually experienced. Instead of revisiting this trauma, you move forward with gratitude, with kindness, with courage. You just move forward. It's not good getting stuck in anger. When you're angry, just know that's something you have to look into your mind. You need to train your mind back into forgiving other people and lowering your expectations and being humble and being grateful. You know, you kind of just go back to these lessons over and over again. Moving on is about creating a beautiful mind. Moving on is taking actions to create that positive psychology of gratitude, of humility, of contentment, of happiness. That is the true art of moving on. And remind yourself, put reminders on your phone if you have to be grateful, to look on the bright side, and to move on, because moving on is a superpower. That is one of the best lessons I ever learned in my life. I was taught by my coach, John, the art of moving on, and it makes sense and lines up so perfectly well with all the books I have read. Remember, where attention goes, energy flows, and where energy flows, neurofiring flows, and where neurofiring flows, neural connections grow. Thanks again for tuning in to Self-Wired Happiness. I love you. Please like, subscribe, and share so you never miss a video. And until next time, namaste.